Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and happy Hump Day. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592, the website at allamericangold.com, and I hope it finds you well out there. Everybody's lost their mind. That's all I can say. This is the more you get involved, the weirder it gets. Last night, I got to tell you, and I know you love my personal stories, but me and some buddies, we're older now. The kids. My youngest is a senior in high school. He's going to go play football for the University of San Diego. Blah 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 blah. Right? We're pretty much empty nesters, really, because we hardly see him. He drives. He's got a car. Right? He's in his room unless he's hungry or needs money. Otherwise you don't see him. So I'm trying to do what empty nesters do, right? So me and a few buddies, we joined a bowling league. And last night was our first match. I don't even know what to call it. I'm not a bowler. I mean, for the last, let's say, 15 years or so, probably bowled once or twice a year, because you take the kids bowling. What do you want to do? Let's go bowling. But that's it, casual at best. And we just decided to be fun, and so yesterday was our first bowling league, and it's amazing how many. There's a lot of people that bowl. I didn't know. Who knew? And they do all the cool stuff, and the ball spins, right? It looks like it's going to go in the gutter, and then it turns and smashes into the pins. I just throw it straight, And there was a wardrobe malfunction. I'll leave it at that. But let's just say my wife had to bring me another pair of shorts. Okay, so, but outside of that, it was fun. Really was a lot of fun, actually. But one of the guys we're bowling with he's all freaked out. He's like, yeah, I went to the bank and I got a bunch of cash. I mean, there may not be any power for 8 days and all of these things that everyone's all, worried and hyped up. And the thing about it is, because it could happen, right? We don't know. I don't think so. But it's really tough. We've got a horribly divided country, right? And seemingly no middle ground. Just look at all the nonsense up in Washington. They're making it, well, you know what? Because they want to. They're making it worse. Mitch McConnell's making it worse. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. I have no nice things to say about any of them. They're not good people. Good people would be uniting, not dividing. So anything's possible. But I guess my point to it was the fact that he wasn't upset. I mean, definitely wasn't scared. He's ready to go. Hey, I've got my generators. I got this. I'm ready. And these are, these are people that live behind gates, right? They've made a lot of money in their life. And they're, I don't want to say they're for it, but they're not afraid of it. And I think this is kind of, it's even closer than I thought. Because usually if you talk about some of the people like, man, I hope this doesn't happen. He didn't say that. He didn't say he hoped it happened. Don't get me wrong. But it just was very interesting. And more people out there, and a lot more out there, think a lot of bad things are coming, and they are. I don't know that between now and the inauguration, any of the worst things out there. Hopefully they don't happen, but you know what? You got to be more ready, even more ready than I thought. And this happens to me a lot because I get caught off guard. And I don't know why I do, but I do. I get caught off guard. I'm like, wow. And you know what? When we were sitting there around the table and nobody, I mean, there was the four of us and the other four guys. I mean, there was 8 guys. Well, I guess they only had 3 because the guy missed. So there were 7 guys. And they were all and I didn't say anything. Right? I'm just watching this. And all of them were kind of like nodding their head. Yeah, this is the reality that we live in. And then I come out, and no wonder why this morning, I'm going to tell you right now, any of it, I don't care what it is. Silver Eagles, junk silver, this, that, 3 weeks, maybe longer. The Bullion Bank informed us this morning that no more junk silver. When we come back, I'm going to talk about who ends up in power as the Republicans take control of the House and Senate. And there's I can't believe it, but it is what it is. Bernie Sanders. What role is he going to play? That's coming up next. Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't touch that dial. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Not through fault of our own. The last few metals programs won't go out till tomorrow. The gold shipment that was supposed to be here yesterday will not be here till tomorrow. Silver, there's a big silver shipment that was supposed to be in Colorado on Tuesday. That's going to be there on Thursday. I don't know what it, and it doesn't. You know what? I like to make fun of the post office. I shouldn't say I like it, but we get it. But this is UPS and FedEx. I mean, it's just gotten nuts. I don't know what's happened. But the 20Ds, so the Type 2 Liberties, those of you, we sold those 20Ds yesterday. They were supposed to be in Phoenix yesterday, in Colorado yesterday. They're going to be here Thursday as well. I don't know what apparently everything's going to be here Thursday. So, I apologize, but just be patient. It's all on its way. A lot of things going on. I mean, I'm just news out of the Bullion Bank, just crazy. We're trying alternative sources for just about everything. But let's talk about one major thing. How much is the Democrats going to spend? And I'll go back to 2016. So remember the election, the 2016 election. Paul Ryan, right, the Wisconsin, right, was tried to run for president and was going to be a potential VP candidate, back in the day. He told the group of Republicans why he thought Democrats winning control of the Senate would be a policy nightmare. Do you know who becomes chair of the Senate Budget Committee? A guy named Bernie Sanders. See, because how these chairs work, right? You get on a board, right, and you sit there. And all of these guys, they get another reason for term limits. So the more seniority you have, right, you end up in power, not because you should have it, right? Just because you've been there longer. He's been the longest serving Democrat on the committee. And of course, he says he's independent because the Democrats, let's face it, he's independent because the Democrats aren't left enough for him. Republicans long fearing the prospect of Sanders, a self-described socialist. And I mean, and again, and we talk about all the banning and all this stuff and social media getting protections from our government that a newspaper doesn't have, right? That a media company doesn't have, right? They allow them to be able, they can do whatever they want. We'll ban whoever we want, and we don't care. I don't care if what you tweet is the truth or not. If we don't like it, we can ban you. They've deplatformed companies now, putting companies out of business. This is scary times. And now we find out that, guess what? Oh, Bernie Sanders is going to be the head of the budget committee, right? And here's a guy that has praised, Cuba amongst others, right? This is what this guy believes. And I'll give Bernie Sanders credit. He doesn't hide it. He just flat out tells you what he thinks, which is, I want to take from the successful and I want to give it to the poor, and I want big government and your ability. It's okay for Bernie to make money. Bernie's become a millionaire, right? He wasn't a millionaire before. It took him going to Congress to become a millionaire. Democrats' stunning victory in the runoffs in Georgia have now set the political landscape, right? We're talking about higher interest rates. By the way, the 10-year note, a little relief. Late yesterday, the 10-year note kind of sold back off down to 1.1%. Remember, it got to literally 1.2%. A little relief, at least temporarily. How long, I don't know. As a bunch of Fed governors came out talking about, we're not changing policy. We're not changing policy. Right? We're going to keep buying. Higher inflation expectations. And now the anticipation of a spending blowout. Top Democrats now are prepping for trillions of dollars of more spending to goose disposable income, help the unemployed, relieve state and local government budgets. That's where the big money's going to go, by the way. So you think about it, it sounds great, right? Hey, helping the unemployed. I'm for that. Who's not for that? Right? If you lost your job because of COVID and what the government did, we should help you out. Goosing disposable income? I didn't know that was part of the government's job. But, everybody gets a check. Right? The checks, are they ever going to stop? I don't think so. Matter of fact, all they do is they get more frequent. I remember, I want to say it was George Bush, the son, W, who sent out the first ones, the first time around. Remember those? And everyone, that was a terrible idea. It did nothing, right? But now it's like, we got to do it. But even that, even that. Like I said, even if you gave everyone $200 or $2,000, still, $7 or $800 billion, and that's if you gave it to everybody. The whole. If you figured there was 330 million people in the country, right? 330 million people in the country. And you gave each person, and of course, remember, not everybody's eligible, but if you gave each person, it'd be $660 billion. That's it. If you gave each person $2,000. Help the unemployed. Relieve state and local governments. That's where most of the money's going to go. Right? So when you look at what they want to do, right? They act like, hey, we're going to help you out. But really what it is, hey, we're going to help government out. And they're saying that they're going to hypercharge the vaccine rollout. And again, I don't think there's the vaccine rollout really isn't about anything other than the states that are struggling, mostly blue states. It's because of their own policies. There's only X amount of vaccine available. The problem, it's a supply problem. Either these companies can pump out more or they can't. Build out clean energy. Right? Another huge, huge amount of spending. Housing. I don't know what that means. I'm just telling you what their agenda is. This is what they're telling. Now remember, right, and Bernie Sanders not going to be the lead guy. Broadband, right, 5G, right? Hey, what's a few more waves crashing in on everybody? And, let's face it, what are they getting ready? What is 5G really for? Right? Is it really our phones aren't fast enough, right? Our internet's not fast enough, really? Right? Oh, I know. It's for it's for downloading movies. Yeah, that's what it is. See, we got to be, we want to download them faster. No. 5G is for two things. One, getting ready for digital currency. And two, tracking. That's it. That's what it's for. They're going to know exactly where, well, they already know, right? They already know exactly where you are. Right? But they're going to make it to where ads can pop up, right? If you, maybe you Googled pizza. Right? Food near me, right? All of a sudden you're going to be bombarded with all this. It's all it's about. It's all about digital money, tracking, right? All that stuff. And this is their agenda. This is what they want to do. Water and transportation infrastructure. So there's been talk about this transportation bill for a long time. That's another, almost $1 trillion prospect. I mean, I'm just trying to add it up. State and local governments, I'm guessing at least $2 trillion there. If you do send everyone $2,000, all right, there's another $600 billion. You want to extend more unemployment benefits, right? There's probably another. Let's just call between that and everyone gets a check. That's $1 trillion. State and local government, there's $2 trillion. Right? Hypercharge the vaccine rollout. I don't know how they're just going to spend more money. Who knows how much that's going to be? Build out clean energy. Right? That's trillions of dollars. Housing, again, I don't know what that means. It just says housing, right? Broadband, 5G. Water and transportation infrastructure, there's $1 trillion. Subsidized paid leave and child care and much, much more. But wait, there's more if you call now. Right? We'll throw in get rid of your student loans, right? Pay off your credit cards, right? We'll throw it all in there. Democrats have hinted that tax increases are going to be delayed. So first, let's spend a bunch of money. We'll worry about taxes later. So what they're saying right now, tax increases, we'll start talking about them at the end of 2021, and we'll put them into effect for 2022. That's what they're saying, at least right now. Joe Biden and his team are not going to raise taxes on anyone until the economy's fully recovered. So there you go. Oh, wait, then they threw out a caveat. Well, not necessarily fully recovered, more stable. That's how about that? Yeah, more stable. According to Russ Sullivan, and Sullivan, who leads the tax policy group, also doesn't think tax increases will be retroactive. So there you go. So there's some, I guess there's the good news is, hey, we just plan on spending. We'll get to the tax raising later. But again, at this point, it's impossible to raise taxes enough to pay for all of this stuff, but they don't want to pay for it. That's not the plan. Right? They wanted to convince everybody that we can just print money. Right? Oh, it's fine. Right? We'll just keep printing it and don't worry about it. We'll worry about it later. And so now we're sitting here and I think all of us know the handwriting's really it's on the wall. It's very obvious. We have major bubbles, right? Look at the bond market. I mean, the bond market didn't even go crazy. I mean, it got to 1.2%. Could you imagine what would have happened if it would have broke that and went to 1.5 or 2? Just remember, every 1% rise in the 10-year note, okay? Now, because the deficit's so big, I gave a bad number. It's almost $400 billion of interest. Patriot Radio News Hour, halftime on a Wednesday.
Sir, yes, ma'am, back.
800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Just a quick reminder, silver is 3 weeks, and now it's all silver. Yesterday, there was junk silver still available. That is out. I'm actually trying to, I do have a silver connection that we've reached out to this morning to see if maybe we can speed at least the junk silver process up. But as of right now, Silver Eagles, they're just gone, right? We continue to see the mint's inability to keep up with demand. And same thing, yesterday I told you the mint is struggling to keep up with demand in gold and mostly for IRA purposes, right? The gold bullion, you can't put old gold in. Old gold, yesterday I told you premiums rising. And right now, every day there's always specials and wholesale. People were running nothing. It is what it is. Right now, U.S. The two items I've got quantities in. I've got U.S. $20 gold pieces. They're $2,125. And then I've got $10 pieces, $10 liberties at $1,070. And again, just think about let's hope that over the next week, right, calm prevails and there's power, there's peaceful. If there's going to be protests, that it's peaceful, which I think they're going to be. I hope they're going to be, but you don't know. Listen, and quite honestly, our government's gotten way too big. The monetary system's an absolute mess. And now we have, you have social unrest. Listen, we don't even know the number. Somewhere between 50 to 60 million people on food stamps. You've got food banks that, you think about it. We see them in the history books. The lines at the Great Depression. And we want to believe that those are gone now. They're back. They're here. When we, by the way, next break, I've got an update on some silver. So apparently my efforts have been rewarded. So stay tuned for that. But again, let's hope that the potential bad things that could happen don't, right? What do we have to look forward to? Right? What's coming? And I just told you, here's their agenda as they see it right now. We want to spend trillions of dollars on government, right? We want to bail out all the state and local governments, right? And we know the vast majority of that's going to only go to a handful of states. That's the other problem, too. States like Colorado and Arizona will get very little. States like California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey are going to get a lot. But that doesn't create anything, right? And ask yourselves, can we just keep creating and printing all this money without, when I read that whole thing, the only thing in there that I was like, okay, infrastructure, that's value, right? When we've got better transportation, right? Better highways, better ports and things like that, airports, whatnot. That there's value in that. All the rest of it just looks like giveaways. What return do we get from bailing out the states? None. What, they could keep spending more money than they take in, keep making ridiculous promises and not fixing what's wrong? Right? We're going to enter, and this is where, listen, this is where Facebook wants us to be, and Twitter wants us to be, and Amazon wants us to be, right? This is where they want us to be. We'll tell you how to think. We'll tell you what to think. And as long as you don't get out of line, right, we'll make sure you don't starve, right? You're not going to own your home, right? That's not going to happen, right? But don't worry, because we've been building, think about it, for the last, 15 years. Well, maybe not that long. Probably the last 12 years. What's been being built? Apartments everywhere. Phoenix, we didn't have a lot of high rises in Phoenix. We really didn't. We do now. Right? All these apartment towers and all these rentals. Now we have multiple neighborhoods here in Arizona now where you're like, oh, hey, they're building new homes. But there's no big sign saying, hey, starting at the low 500s. Well, how much are they? Well, they're for rent. Right? Yeah, see, the big bank, they're going to own them, and we're going to rent them out. Right? And every month or every quarter, don't worry, we'll send you some money, Right? And when it's tight, you can go down to the food bank, stand in line, or in your car, whatever. We got drive-throughs and everything. We'll hand you a box of food. And keep your social media post to the company line. Right? It defies all logic. And I don't know how it's going to play out. Well, actually, that's not true. I do know, right? Eventually, right, we collapse on the debt. That's certain. We're going to have a digital currency. I got an email from a guy, and I don't know, maybe he misunderstands, or maybe I misspoke. I'm not sure which, about cryptocurrency. I've been very clear. They're not going to be here, right? But they had a reason for letting them exist as they were today, because they want, hey, you figure it out. Work out all the kinks and all that stuff, and let us get ready, right? Let us get 5G, right? Because, the whole thing, you got to be able to process all the transactions and all that stuff, and it's all coming. When we return, I just got handed a note from Arlene. My silver friend is stepping up. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. $20 gold pieces, $2,125. $10 pieces at $1,070. And I apologize for some of you new folks if Tomorrow I'll try to do a big show, explain everything, and do all that stuff because we've had so many new clients calling, asking questions, and what you should do, and all those things. But we got a lot going on today. Silver. I've got a friend, and you remember the Binion's hoard? Those of you may know the story, right? The old Binion's Casino. I think the World Series of Poker used to be there. One of the brothers was a catastrophist, built a huge vault where he had kept, got millions and millions and millions of ounces of silver. I mean, bags and bags and bags of it. I know a guy that's kind of the same. And he has hundreds of bags of junk silver. I reached out to him yesterday. He finally got back to us, and we were on the air, but he is allowing for me to take some of that silver. He's going to ship it to us, and then I'll replace it later. That's kind of our agreement. I've done this with him once before. I did this during the heart of the coronavirus shutdown. He's offering up to me 5 bags of quarters and 5 bags of dimes, which will put the quarters, rolls of quarters, 40 quarters, are $215 a roll. The rolls of dimes are $107.50. If you wanted a full bag of quarters, $21,500 delivered. Full bags of dimes, same thing, $21,500 delivered. There's 715 ounces of silver in every bag. And these I can have, he'll start shipping these bags by Monday. So they'll be available. We should, obviously UPS or FedEx, whichever method he's going to use, we should have them in our hands in Phoenix and Colorado, I would say by the middle of next week, maybe the end of next week, so a lot faster than that. He doesn't do Silver Eagles. All he does, he just buys bags, and he's got, if I was to guess, 1,000, maybe 2,000 bags, but he's willing to help me out. We've developed a relationship over all the years that we've been here. So if you're looking for silver, you want some junk silver, obviously a lot cheaper than Silver Eagles as far as price per ounce goes. Quarters and dimes. I tried to get halves from him. He wasn't having it. But I've got 5 bags of each. So that's that should be a good amount. Quarters, every bag of quarters has 100 rolls in it. Every full bag of dimes has 200 rolls in it. So that's, 500 rolls of quarters, 1,000 rolls of dimes are available if you're new. It's so easy. Just call us up and, say, hey, I want the silver Joe was talking about. And then the girls say, okay, you want quarters or dimes? And you tell them which. You can mix them up, right? So you may want some of each. Give them the dollar amount, and they'll tell you. They'll do the math for you. It's really, really simple. We've got offices in Arizona and Colorado. If you want to pick up, you save on the shipping. If you want us to send them to you via either mail, if it's a larger quantity of silver, we ship ground UPS. Every once in a while, FedEx ground now as well too. So I shouldn't say just ground UPS, but. And then we charge $35 for that, no matter how much. If you ordered $1,000, it'd be $35. If you ordered $10,000, it'd be $35, right? If you ordered $100,000, I'd probably waive the $35. You see what I'm saying? So, but $35 total. 800 951 0592. And a lot of these bags are old. They've been around a long time. Some of them, the last time I did this, actually came with the old metal clasp on them, and they stopped doing that like in the early 80s. And this is a guy, he doesn't open them. And I don't know, right? We may get newer bags, older bags, but by and large, most of the stuff that he's bought, and he bought these things 30, 40 years ago, some of them 50 years ago. So could be some interesting stuff in there. And again, you know us, we don't go through them. We'll roll them up, bag them up, and should be a really good, interesting mix there. 800 951 0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment on a Wednesday. 800-951-0592. I now have 4 bags of quarters and 4 bags of dimes at 800-951-0592. Again, the 3 weeks, maybe more, for Silver Eagles from the Mint. Junk silver disappeared. I called a buddy of mine. He's kind of the new Binions, and has thousands of bags. He let me have 10 of them. I got to replace them, but at least we have silver for those of you who are interested. Rolls of quarters at $2.15 a roll. Obviously, multiply that by 100 of full bags, $21,500. The dimes, half. 107.50 a roll. Again, full bag of dimes, $21,500. You can get quarter bags, half bags, individual rolls. We've got something for everybody. Then on the gold side, by the way, gold's up what, $14, $18.58. I think Kitco says it's up 3 or 4, but again, gold moved quite a bit in the electronic trade last night. And I told you the 10-year note, finally a little relief. Silver's up 14 cents or down 14 cents, but either way, silver's 25.50, and the Dow it's mixed. The Dow is down. The S&P and the Nasdaq are higher, and like I said, the 10-year note 110. 110. Remember, yesterday it touched 1.2, which kind of in response to the Fed wants inflation, and they want a lot of it. Now, I heard several Fed governors talking about inflation needing to be much higher for much longer. Jeff Gundlach yesterday, one of my, he's the guy, of all the guys, he's the one I listen to the most. Says 3% inflation, and that's going to be 3% the way the Fed counts it coming. And I think about what the Biden administration's now released as far as their spending plans. Could be a big one, right? I mean, they're talking about spending trillions, which, again, is going to drive that inflation as we continue to print into oblivion. I just don't know who's going to buy it all. I mean, I guess the central bank, right? I mean, I don't know. And again, the only thing I saw was maybe some infrastructure that's an actual gain. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see the we're going to pay for your college, Right. Whereas, I guess maybe that's one of the promises they won't deliver on. I don't know. But don't quote me. It just wasn't in that press release. Doesn't mean that's not there. But I didn't see any type of student loan debt forgiveness or anything like that. But don't worry. I'm sure Bernie Sanders, once he is officially in charge, he'll bring it up for you. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Again, we'll tell you what we have. If it's going to be a long amount of time, we'll tell you that well ahead of time. Right now, silver, if you buy quarters or dimes, we can get them to you quickly. Anything else, it's going to be weeks. On the gold side, we'll just tell you what old gold's available. You can tell us what you want to do. 800-951-0592. God bless. I'll be back tomorrow.